Hello, everyone. Today is the November 3rd, and that's the official meeting for Harbor Community Meeting. It's official CNCF meeting, so please behave and follow the code of conduct. My name is Rulin Vasilev, and I'm the community manager for Harbor. For today's agenda, I have one topic, and I want to bring up the office hours again. So what do you think? I think there'll be huge benefits for the community to bring the office hours again. There are many questions popping up in the channel every day, and especially with the new release, I think it would be great to have it and to have someone from the team to do some demos on the distributed tracing features and the changes in the API for the robot accounts. So what do you think? It's good to have them back, or it will be too much to have them again and to be like the community meetings every second week or something?
Hey, Orly, what is the time you're thinking for this?
Maybe we can alternate. So the week after this one. So not sure if that will be visible for everyone, but so we can make it, for example, next week same time, I think.
Yeah, I can check with the team. I don't know if we want to decide today on this call, but we can talk about it.
Yeah, it would be great.
Yeah, we should discuss with team. And previously we have officer hour, right? But I'm not sure what is the time at that time.
Previously, it was also bi-weekly, and it was around 1 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
And attendance was pretty low. I think we only had a couple sessions where more than a few people showed up, so we decided to cancel it.
Yeah.
Maybe it was in the wrong time. I don't know. But we can give it a try. I think that there are many things that we can discuss in the office hours. Some to do some demos. Okay. I can put a issue for voting for this one, for example, and everyone can put his or hers issues with the time, or and we can decide it. Okay.
Maybe you can do a vote on Slack channel, for example, and then what time most people would fit. Like giving a few options of time zones, like the Central European time zone, US Eastern, US Western, and then some like Beijing time or something. And just let vote what works best for people.
You mean to create like a Slack pool and people to decide, not through GitHub? Okay.
Or both. I don't know. Maybe both.
Yeah. Okay. Some way to decide which is the good time for this one. Yeah. And as a second topic from my side, to bring Vadim's nomination. I'm not sure if the maintenance team managed to vote, so please check that nomination and put your vote in. And yeah, we have something in the chat.
I think regarding the vote, the not every voter is considered there. I think that Tianon his vote is not considered because I think he's not a member of this repository of this project. So that's why his vote is not considered, for example. I think.
You mean Tianon is not added to the
community
board?
Yes, I think he's not added to the community board or community group, so that's why his vote is not considered as a vote there.
I can fix that. But we have, I think, a lazy consensus for this one. So as far as we have the votes collected, okay, I'll check that. Okay, those are my topics. Anyone else wants to get on from here? Welcome, Abby, from your leave.
Yeah, welcome
Hi.
back, Abby.
Yes, I'm back. So looking forward to getting back up to speed on the project, and excited to see all your faces this morning.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, Vadim, do you have, because I can see your face, that's your first on the list. Do you have something to discuss?
Yes, I mean, I have a few topics maybe that would be interesting to discuss in the community. And so one topic that I've already stumbled now a few times, and I think this is not, it could be, the implementation is on the harbor side is a bit problematic there. And the topic is regarding the OpenID Connect implementation in Harbor, and the fact that if you have OpenID Connect enabled, you have the refresh tokens are tied to the CLI key. So this means that if you have OpenID Connect enabled and you have users that are logging in with OpenID Connect, and those users create a CLI secret, and there is no expiration date on the CLI secret. So the user assumes that the CLI secret will work, but actually the CLI secret is tied to their refresh token. And in some implementations, so if their OpenID Connect implementation is a bit more, I would say, strict, so where the refresh token is only valid for a few minutes, this means, or a few days, this means that the user can only log in this time of period. So he needs to first log in again to get a new refresh token, and then he can use his CLI key. And this is not transparent because, yeah, the assumption of the user is they generate the CLI token so that they can use it in an OpenID context. But the reality is that even though they have the CLI token, it's still tied to their OpenID Connect user and especially the refresh token. And this means that, yeah, after some certain amount of time, that the CLI key is not valid anymore, and there is no feedback or response to the user. It just fails to log in. And I think from the implementation point of view, maybe we need to kind of address this topic again, because I mean, the database login is in Harbor I would say a second-class citizen, because it's not a primary login option for Harbor, how it's used, because it lacks some core functionality there. And yeah, so in the context of OpenID Connect, it would make sense to see how we can improve this workflow there. If we could somehow address this, or
yes, this is by design. And if I record correctly, the combination of CLI secret and the refresh token meet the OIDC spec. I mean, I don't clear understand use the CLI secret, but
sorry, I have a hard time understanding you because the connection is breaking up, or is it me?
No, it's the same
It's
for
yeah.
me.
Well, your connection is not great. Could only catch half of that.
You mean my network? Not,
Yeah, your network isn't. It's
okay.
very yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Let me read. Okay.
I guess, do you have an issue to this, or is an issue somewhere?
There are a few issues on GitHub. regarding this topic already. So from different users in the past, and I've been scanning again over the issues and what people are talking about, and maybe we need to kind of consolidate all these issues together and maybe address this topic, because it's
So okay, yeah, I think yeah, let's add those issues to this agenda so we can look later. But you're talking about OIDC, right?
OIDC and CLI token, or CLI key, CLI secret it's called, exactly.
Okay, yeah, I think that the basic. Okay, go ahead, Wang Yan, if you wanna.
Yeah. I understand your question, but if I recall correctly, the OIDC CRS secret and the combination of the CRS secret and the refresh token are meet the OIDC specification. That's why we take this implementation.
I mean, they surely do conform to the specification, but I mean, I'm not saying they're not conforming. I'm just saying from the usability, from the user usability, it's not very good in the sense that.
And also from the security perspective, I think that if you refresh the token in the backend in the OIDC server side, you have to refresh your CRI secret in hardware side.
I think
Yeah, it does. So it's been a while for me, but the core logic behind this is that it's because Docker CLI can't handle redirection for single sign-on. That's why we use a CLI secret, and basically the CLI secret it's mapped to the ID token, right? And so when Harbor tries to refresh the token, the CLI secret will be invalid, right? If the user is invalidated on the OIDC side, and that's why the CLI secret has the same lifespan as the ID token, right?
Exactly.
And
I
if
think
OIDC, yeah, go ahead.
No, go, Alex. Go ahead.
I was going to say the way the refresh token works is that if the OIDC provider side, it doesn't provide a refresh token, or the refresh token fails, then the CLI secret that's how you invalidate the CLI secret, right? Because that's when the user has been removed from the OIDC side, and that's really the only way for Harbor to pick this up. So if you log out and you log in again through the single sign-on flow, then Harbor gets a new ID token, and the CLI secret will work again.
I mean, I totally understand this is a must-have requirement. So maybe one option would be to Harbor do automatic refresh, so figuring out when is the token about to expire and try to refresh it so that the CLI token or CLI secret does not expire. Kind of in a kind of a background process, refreshing the token, for example, even when the user is not constantly logging in every day or something, So if the refresh token is like 24 hours, then Harbor would refresh the token in 23 hours, every 23 hours, something like this maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, there maybe other options, and I've seen some discussions on GitHub regarding solutions, and maybe, but my point was here to bring up this topic and see if we can work on that again and try to solve this. I didn't want to jump into solutions already or into the solution space.
You can just file the issue regarding this. So you can just file a discussion on that, so we can have some input.
Okay. I'll bring the topic again in the community or an issue, and then we can have a discussion around that and possible solutions how we can resolve that.
Okay. Anyone else with the topic? Or I don't want to go through the list and ask everyone name by name, so don't be shy. Share your thoughts or.
Well, I have another topic as well. I think Stephen is not here, right? And this is like regarding the harbor satellite concept that I would like to work on, and I think Alex Stephen was working on a concept there, and he wrote that it's not public, and I was about to ask him if he could share this somehow or make it public, so that we can continue on the work that he did before and use this as a reference or a starting point already, and move this topic with the not replication topic with the satellite concept or edge harbor at edge forward, and see how we can maybe create an implementation there.
Yeah, there's a document available. I just need to make that public. Sorry about that. He did bring this up to me with me. I'll do that and I'll share with you. But
All right. Yeah.
basically, it's like a lightweight. I think that's what you're talking about, right? Satellite harbor is
Exactly
something that's more appropriate for an edge case. So it's a much lighter footprint.
Exactly.
It doesn't have the the full set of
exactly
capabilities in harbor today. It has some subset of those capabilities.
exactly. And I would personally like to push this topic forward and see how we can create an agenda on the community, or create a kind of issue there on the community project, and start discussion around this and different implementation options. So
you
that
can
we
just
maybe
create a proposal in the community report so that we can have some input for that.
okay.
Yeah, I'll share the doc with you first.
Okay.
Or if there's an issue, I can just paste it onto the issue. I don't know if there's an issue. If not, I can just share with you.
Okay.
And then we can
Okay.
create a proposal
Okay.
around it.
Okay. Thank you.
But yeah, the idea was to deliver another harbor instance, probably within the same project.
Yeah.
So it's just like a regular harbor, but it's much smaller. That's it.
Okay, so another question from my side, if there's nobody else asking questions. There is also a discussion regarding the Helm chart, or chart museum support for Harbor 2.4 that is now kind of marked as deprecated, and it's clear. I mean, for me, it's clear what this means, that it's not going to get a new functionality and support. And there is, however, one thing that I came across is that replicating the replication of images does not include harbor charts. And now the question is, would you consider this to be an update to this functionality, or would you consider it to be fixing a problem? So what I want to ask is, would it make sense to create still create some form of contribution there or not? So this is something
do you
that
mean do you mean not replicate the charts in chart museum, right? Or the OCI chart?
no, the OCI charts are not replicated. The chart museum is replicated. No, but what is not replicated is the chart museum charts are not replicated. The OCI images, they're replicated because they're OCI images. But now I'm talking about the deprecated part. If you think it would still make sense to create a contribution there or not.
You're asking if it makes sense to contribute to chart museum, the upstream, or what? Functionality within Harbor?
Functionality within Harbor, so that when you have a image replication or project replication, it would also include Helm charts. Right now, it does not include Helm charts.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be investing in that.
Okay.
The future is OCI. We try to make that pretty clear.
Yeah, I totally understand. Okay, so I will communicate this accordingly then, and let's see that we're not gonna try to implement something there, because if it has no chance to get accepted, from you guys, then it makes no sense to invest in that from our side as well.
We're
Okay.
just not seeing the the adequate level of response we would need from Chart Museum as an upstream project to really have confidence here. Right?
I totally understand.
OCI,
Yeah, I
is
totally
a
understand that OCI
alternative.
is the future. Yeah. Okay, that's good, and it's okay for me. I'll have now enough arguments to push against this and see that they that they should use OCI instead if they want to have replication. Okay.
Anyone else?
Johnny, should we take time to go through the discussion list?
Yeah, if we don't have other topic, I think we can pick one or two discussion items to have some.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can I share my screen?
Sure thing. And please, as a reminder for everyone, add yourself and the topics that you wanted to discuss, so we don't lose track of what was discussed. The floor is yours.
Thank you. I just want to pick one or two items from a discussion list to have discussed with you. The one of the hardest topic is about the Chart Museum deprecation. We still have some user is confusing what do you mean by limited support on Chart Museum. I just give a response that we want to release the signal to the community that the Chart Museum will be deprecated in the future release, and engage user to leverage the OCI compatible chart. And we will not provide any text support on the Chart Museum problem, especially the performance problem that we noticed. But still some user wanna have discuss on that. So so at least should we have just some notification to the community and to give some clear message to the user to let them know that we wanna to deprecate the Chart Museum in future release. Then from 2.4, more and more users will start to translate their charts into the OCI compatible charts.
You're asking if we need to send a stronger message.
Yes, we just have let me.
I think we've talked about it in previous meetings, right?
Yeah.
And we have it in release notes.
But we have a lot of users. Only very little of them join the community meeting. So I just leave one message here. We will provide limited support on Chart Museum. But I think we should have some strong message to community to let user know that we want to deprecate Chart Museum. Otherwise, we still have received some feedback from the community to ask why we do not support Chart Museum.
Yeah, I think that's explanation what it means with deprecation and what is the way forward. Maybe would explain it or made it clear to say, okay, we deprecate Chart Museum, so there's not going to be new features, new functionality, but it will be still there until, so there's a condition until when is it there? And I think the condition from my perspective is if Helm has official support for OCI. And I think this is the point when Helm does officially support OCI images, then I think is a good time to deprecate or to remove Chart Museum from Harbor. And I think making this condition clear would already help a lot of people say, like, we deprecate it, so we're not going to add new functionality and features to Chart Museum or to the implementation, and we're going to remove Chart Museum from Harbor when Helm has an official OCI support. I mean, right now is OCI still in beta, I guess. It's not officially released, or is it? I think not, no?
Yeah. So
What do you mean it's still in beta? You can use Helm to push to Helm v3 right now. I mean to OCI right now.
It's still marked as experimental.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I would add a condition so that the user is clear. Okay, experimental until it's supported in Helm, or it will be in Harbor until as long as Helm has it set it to experimental. I think
that makes sense. Yeah,
this would stop the discussions, because I think it's understandable people are afraid because they think, okay, they're not gonna be Chart Museum, the chart support. So what should they do next? And we need to give them a clear road path, and a clear road path would be, Chart Museum will be in Harbor until it's not experimental anymore in Helm.
I think that makes sense. I don't know if they have any plans to actually transition to something more stable from experimental. But we have had internal discussions about, like if we're going to be spending time to invest in a solution here, should we be working with the Helm community, or should we be working with the Chart Museum community? And it felt like Chart Museum was, they really let themselves go. We haven't gotten the feedback we need. So out of the two, we would prefer to work with Helm. It seems Helm is still pretty active, but I think you make a solid point here that yes, we have to state our position more clearly and give our users some more confidence here.
Exactly, so that we not let them hang or something, kind of.
Yeah, we can take that as an action item. Can someone put it down on the agenda doc, and we can try to state something that's more, more a stronger message, more forceful and more succinct. I thought we've been doing an okay job, just kind of reinforcing this in previous community meetings and in the release notes. But yeah, I'm still getting questions like that from customers as well. So 100% agree.
Okay, so I can file an issue so we can have some follow-up. Maybe we can deliver some stronger message to the community by some way.
Yeah, let's create an issue, and then we can collect some messages and where to put them, like the release notes and somewhere else on the blog, maybe even just a short blog information or something. Yeah.
So another issue that I wanna have a discuss is that this one. So since we have released 2.4, and then I just have a release to the 1.10.9, and the GitHub will mark the latest release as 1.10.9, like this. So the user is confusing about the release version.
I think there's nothing wrong with the way it looks on GitHub. I think what we have to do is communicate that we maintain
Yes.
3 releases, 3 miners in parallel. So you could have a patch release of an older miner, you know, moving ahead
since,
or showing up as the latest release. It's totally, as I understand that concept, then this totally makes sense. I mean, it's not a new concept to
our
other projects.
documentation that we just have officially support 2 backward version, like 2.2 or 2.3, once the 2.4 is released. But we still have some patch released in 1.10, and users confusing about that. I didn't come up with a better idea about that, since the 1.10.9 is actually the latest release, but it will confuse the user. That is which one is new and which one should I use.
Right. We just have to answer this question on the discussion, because I've done this before on Slack. People have asked. This isn't the first time. They don't understand that 1.10 is still being 1.10 is especially bad, right? Because it's way out of support for us even. So there's a special, you know, a special not a customer, but a constituent that we are releasing these for. So it feels like we're maintaining 4 releases now, but we're not. We're still doing 3, right? We're doing N-2. But it's no different if you ask the same question about 1.1 or 2.0. If we were maintaining 2.0, we could potentially have a 2.0 patch release show up as the latest, because GitHub just lists it in the date of release, right? So they could jump around. I can reply to this if you want to send it to me directly, Ryan, or you can put it on the. I can try to. Yeah. Thank you. I'll try to explain what's going on here.
I just received several similar questions from the Slack channel to ask why we still have a maintenance about the 1.10 release.
So yeah, I mean, on this meeting, we can only share that we're releasing these patches for a certain someone, but yeah, it's not a great model, and we should try to get away from it, right? So this is an issue to the community as well, Jiaoling, if you're still here. This is why we shouldn't be doing this, right? It goes against the principles of an open source project, and it creates additional, a lot of support burden for us, and we want to get away from it. This is a perfect example of, we can point to this and say, and as an example of why we shouldn't be doing this, because it's extremely confusing for the community. Why are you still maintaining 1.10?
Yeah,
and
I
the
agree
person
with you,
who
Alex.
wants it should be doing it in private in his own repo, right? As opposed to, having us do it. So.
Yeah, I just, that's why I just want to have a discuss on these 2 problems. Yeah. Hi, Ollie, and that's all from me. I have no further issue that want to have discussed in the meeting.
Okay, so I have one quick thing, which is Harbor 2.4 got released. Congrats to the entire team, to all the maintainers who contribute to this. Really great work. And so we're starting the Harbor 2.5. So looking for anyone watching this recording later, please file an issue for something you want to be done in 2.5, right? You can again go through. We'll be putting those issues into its own swim lane on the project board. So there'll be a 2.5, and if there's something you want, just ask, or you can +1 on the issues that exist. We're going to be going through those pretty soon, within the next week, 2 weeks, I would say.
Hey Alex, will we have any URL to let user to input the ideas for 2.5? Like
URL.
I mean, any wiki, GitHub issue, or community PR. So if I have idea about 2.5, so where should I give that input?
Yeah, I think there's a, you can explicitly, ask for this to be in 2.5, or you can just create an issue, and the maintainer team will figure out the priority here if it looks, if it looks compelling, and if it's adequately, if the problem is adequately described, then we'll reach out and take it as we usually do, and we'll figure out if we can put it into 2.5.
So are you planning to go over the issues, or how do you plan to figure out which issues should be kind of considered for 2.5 from the issues? Is there kind of a structure how we could help you with selection, or should we, I don't know, like adding it to discussions, or I mean, I'm not sure if it's because the projects are closed, there's no projects anymore. So is there kind of a somehow?
Yeah, so typically, right. So we would have a discussion, and then a maintainer discussion, not leveraging this time for the wider community. We would have a maintainer discussion, and everyone would all the maintainers would work on this. I think there was discussion about, can we maybe make this public for other contributors and anyone else really, maybe like in the form of a Zoom session, not a Zoom session where everyone can participate, right? It would just be like one of those webinars where someone has control over this session and people can listen in, but they can't talk, right? Because we don't want to get distracted. So maybe that's an idea. We've also grown our maintainer team quite a bit, right? With Vadim and Tianan joining us. So between all the new people and different time zones, this is a new process for us. So we're gonna have to figure things out. Maybe break this down into 2 sessions. I don't think we can cover everything in just one session. But so let's all go through the list of issues that we would like to get done in 2.5, and once we have enough, we'll go through it and tag those issues for 2.5, and then we'll meet for an actual discussion, and we'll figure out what the times are, and I'll send out an invite, but it won't be this session. So
yeah, maybe another way we can do is to open a discussion to collect the 2.5 requirement. we have done similar thing for 2.3, I think.
Yeah, this could be an option, having discussion. Yeah, but this would be already a public discussion then. I mean, it's tracked at least then. If it's a discussion, then kind of a gathering 2.5 requirements, and then people can. I think it would make your life easier as well if people already kind of add things in there.
Okay.
Only, yeah.
Yeah. I was not sure if the discussion ended, so
Yeah.
how the tone was not like ending of discussion. Okay. So anyone else? No. Okay. Abby, do you want to add something? No. All right. Okay. So with that, I think we can close for today. 15 minutes back and catch up in 2 weeks. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Right.
And see you.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Have a good one.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye,
Yeah,
everyone.
bye-bye.
Thank you.